What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited about this video because we are finally diving in to the Supra, starting this crazy journey with this car, which is bone stock at the moment and is gonna make a crazy transformation throughout this entire series that we're gonna do with this car, and I cannot wait. Today we are tackling one of the most important parts to a car build, quotes, air quotes, and that is suspension. Getting the right suspension can be a daunting task because you want your car to drive and feel as good as possible, and suspension plays a big role in that. So I'm pumped today to be picking up some new suspension. If you can't already tell, the building that I'm at, I don't know if you can see it, but might get an idea. So I'm picking up a set of coilovers and I'll meet you guys back at the shop.
We are back with the Supra. This thing looks phenomenal as always. Headlights cleaned up super well in the last video that you saw with the Griot's headlight restorer. Completely changed the front end of this car from just an old tired looking car to a brand new, soon to be built Supra. I did this off camera, I didn't film any of it, but I did get a rear wiper delete kit from ProSpec Imports over in Australia. I installed that over the weekend, so we no longer have a rear wiper. The rear end of this car just looks that much cleaner, and no one uses a rear wiper anyways, so best to just get rid of that. Installing that was super easy. It probably took about 20 minutes to just pop the interior liner off, take a few bolts out, and swap it out. So I'm pumped on that. Slowly but surely this thing's going to be coming together and I cannot wait. But in today's video, you saw in the beginning, I went and picked up something from BC Racing, and you guys know BC Racing. They are one of the best brands for coilovers, and I'm happy to announce that BC sponsored the Supra. I could not be more excited to get into this thing, get rid of this gross ride height, and just make this thing look that much more of a proper Supra. Now, like I've said in other videos, I don't plan to slam this car. It's gonna get lowered. It's not gonna be crazy low like any of my other cars. This car is going to be a respectable amount of low. And my goal is to really just kind of get rid of the tire gap in between the tire and fender. Still leaving this thing plenty streetable and ready to put down some good power in the future. So let's get to unboxing these coilovers. Now, BC was kind enough to send over some DS series coilovers for the Supra. These are 14K fronts, 12K rears, for anyone that's wondering. A very modest spring rate, nothing too crazy, nothing too soft, and it's definitely going to be a perfect fit for the Supra. Hope you guys enjoyed that little montage. I moved the Supra over to the other side of the shop because the 15 needs to live on the lift after Orlando needs to go over a bunch of stuff. So we're gonna be doing the coilovers over here. I'm just gonna be tackling kind of one corner at a time, taking each wheel off, taking each factory strut out, and just kind of going about it that way. I know the fronts, this entire car, chassis-wise and suspension-wise, is basically the exact same as my Soarer. So I know kind of what I'm getting into for suspension already. So I already know the front of this car is going to be harder than doing the back of this car. The back is super easy, but the front is annoying because of the upper control arm bolt. And I'll show you guys that once I get the wheels off and get the car up on a jack. But enough talking. I am so excited to see this car on some coilovers, and I'm extremely happy that they are BC's. Once again, thank you BC for sponsoring this car. If you guys need anything suspension related, anything wheel related, BC makes some incredible forged wheels. Link right in the top of the description. Be sure to check it out. I've had BC coilovers before on my Civic and they rode beautifully. So I have no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna love the way they ride on the Supra. Interrupting this real quick to let you guys know that I just bought the set of wheels for this car. They're not in the country. They'll be here in a few weeks, but I'm really excited for them. It's a wheel I've had before. I've always loved the look of them, and I can't wait to own another set, especially on this car. As if those wheels couldn't come quick enough, we already got a nail in this tire. Gosh dang it. I don't care about these wheels, but at the same time, the only wheels I have that work, so I kind of need them to work. So this guy right here is going to be my issue. That's one bolt that goes through the entire thing. Is an absolute pain in the ass to get out. So I was speaking to Rad Dan earlier when he was keeping his car here before FD Orlando, and he was saying that this is probably the least quickest part to take off the car when he has a 5-minute call or something, is a blown upper control arm or something to do with the strut and having to take the strut out for a 5-minute call. So this is definitely not going to take me 5 minutes to get out, but we will see how everything else goes. Chris, your chaser was set up like this? You know what this goes to? No, this is the back of the wishbone of the upper control arm. All the way through it. It goes through it all the way through one side. Wow. Yeah, no, mine was 2 separate bolts. Would love that. Would be great. All right, here we go. Here's the new BC compared to the OEM strut. I don't know if this is an OEM strut. It's probably a replacement, but either way, we got a couple inches difference here. Obviously, they will settle once the car has weight on them, so I'm not going to adjust the coilover in terms of height when I put it in. I'm just going to make sure preload is set and good, and then we will put the coilover in. Preload is just putting a few millimeters of tension on the spring using the upper collars to keep the spring from rattling around, keep everything nice and quiet. So pretty sure they already come preloaded, but I'm gonna check and then we're gonna toss it in here. I'm excited to see a nice clean BC inside of here. I definitely want to like get this thing up on a lift and just pressure wash under here. I know dry ice blasting would probably be the best solution, and I might look into that, but for now we'll just put the coilover in and see how it looks. So you might notice after doing the first coilover that the height didn't really change very much, and since we've only done one side, the other side, the driver's side, is holding it up a little bit more. So if we put the coilover in on the other side, the height for the front might actually change a little bit more, but if not, and I put the other side in and it's still the same height, I can always take the wheel off and lower the coilover down. So I'm going to do the same thing for the driver's side. Not going to film it just because it took quite a while to do the fronts. That bolt in the back of the upper control arm is an absolute nightmare. So I'm just going to check back in with you guys when the front is done. Alright, so both front coilovers are in, and as I said before, the ride height has not changed. So basically left at the same exact height as the stock struts. That's easy enough. I'm going to jack each side back up, and I would say that's probably inch and a half maybe to go lower on the threads. So I'm gonna count how many threads I need to go, and hopefully we'll have a lower Supra on some dub AutoZone wheels. By the way, if anyone wants these wheels, hit me up. I'll put my Instagram right here. I don't want much for them, but I don't want them either. They are cool, but they're a little too much bling bling for me, if you know what I mean. A lot of you guys did some research on these and found out that they were a company in Tampa, and they made these wheels up until 2006. So they were definitely right in the era of the first Fast and Furious movies to come out, and they definitely fit the bill. So if this is your taste and you want them, you know where to find me, and we'll make a deal. All right, so dropped it down about 3 centimeters, and I'm liking that fitment. That looks really good. It's not too crazy, and I've only done one side, so I'm gonna do the driver's side and see if the height changes at all, and then if it does, then I can go up from there. But I'm very happy with that that fitment. Very modest, can still turn, no issues, not gonna break fenders. This is not a stance car. Oh, I'm so excited. So I think this is the perfect amount of height for this car. Haven't done the back yet. Obviously things might change, but just jack things back up, adjust it a little bit, and now we have perfect tire to fender fitment. And the wheel specs are obviously a little weaker than I'm gonna be going with, but I really dig this.
Hey Mike, are you doing this next? Is this the next video?
No. Chris, put the box, no. Nope. Chris. Guy thinks he's gonna put Wise Fab on this car. Anyways, this thing looks awesome. So I don't know about you guys, even though I'm not a fan of these wheels on this car, with it lowered, it honestly makes them look a little better. I'm not gonna lie. It's absolutely crazy to see what just a set of coilovers can do for a car. This thing has already transformed and is looking so much better. If you guys remember in the beginning of this video when I showed you the box of the BC Racing Coilovers and they said DS Series BC Racing Coilovers offer an increased dampening speed than your traditional coilover, which as for a driver means that you will see an increase in dampening speeds for any kinds of driving. Whether it's aggressive backroad driving, track driving, or just normal street driving, you will notice an increase in dampening with these coilovers, as well as the obvious being able to lower your car and giving it a much more aggressive stance. I think for me, this was the best choice for this car. And this thing is already turning out more and more amazing. I find it kind of funny when this car was at stock height and it was next to my Soarer was aired out next to this car, super low on the ground. The roof height of the Supra when it was at stock height was at the same roof height the Soarer was aired out. And this car, now being on coilovers, has an even lower roof height than the Soarer does. I'm kind of towering over this roof, and it just kind of makes the car look that much lower from far away, even when it's got quite a bit of room from the ground still. I'm a big fan of that. I always talk about how much I love cars with low roof lines, low body lines. It just makes a car look that much lower and more aggressive when it has a good set of wheels and coilovers on it. And this car definitely fits that, so I'm pumped. Very excited to be swapping these wheels out. I cannot wait to see them off of the car, and with the new wheels on, you guys will find out very soon what wheels I got for this car. One more thing before I go, well, two more things. I need your guys' input on something. I'm getting a lot of DMs still about the low cars, high standards hoodies that I came out with a couple months ago. The hoodies that helped me buy this car, which still is crazy. A lot of you guys want to see shirts of the same design. So if that is of interest to you, I am willing to do a pre-order for Low Cars High Standards shirts. This will be the last time that I make anything with the Low Cars High Standards design. So for the summer, if that's something you'd like and something that you'd want to rock, definitely leave it in the comments below. I'm curious to hear what you think. And lastly, before I close this video out, I'm thinking about making a poster, a limited run poster of the Supra, the Soarer, and the LS400 all parked up right here. I think it would make for an awesome shot, especially during this time of day. And all three of those cars together would just be an epic poster. Let me know in the comments as well if that is something of interest to you. I've wanted to make a poster for a very long time, and I have quite a few people DMing me about that as well, but was waiting for the right time, and now that I have the Supra and it's on some coilovers, I think that it's time. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the coilover install. We're gonna keep plugging away at this thing until it is the perfect example of a Supra that I could ever want. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.